welcome everyone. Yeah, I just was thinking about mental health session should be more happy, should be more positive stuff. Yeah, even we have some negative frustration, we can overcome. We can overcome. Yeah. So today, our topic will be gender mainstreaming and mental health mainstreaming, and also from the how we have women's mental health, the strategy, the policy, and initiation. Yeah, so I will describe something, and our colleague also will talking about something. Yeah. So maybe I just go to the first line. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So for yeah. So when we're talking about gender mainstreaming, mental health mainstreaming, that means okay. So I think you will next. You will see, because I come to UNCSW, it's really given me a lot of learning and also inspiration. So since 1999, I came here because WFMH, Nancy, she's a main representative. So she said, oh, you are a board member and also from Asia. Would you like to talk about women and empower women's mental health? So first time I stepped in United Nations. And also I discovered no one should be left behind, but Taiwan really be left behind. Yeah, we are not being allowed to be as our country. Yeah. So even our ambassador office, they won't get any information about gender. We only take some in defense, national defense or something else. Yeah. So at that time, every time I will bring box of books or reference back home. Yeah. Until 2007 or 8, gradually everything become electronic. Yeah. So this is the time. Then 1999, 2000 I've been here. In 2001, I start to invite some women care about the women's development. People come, we come 6 people, 8 people. Then 2005, then become our Women Progressive and Promotion Foundation, make some arrangement to all of us. So we have 6 person come, 8 person come. This year we have 60 person, 60, and you can see 23 panels everywhere. Yeah, and welcome you join. And also the CSW give me give an impact for Taiwan. We have the national machinery, because in 1995 the World Conference we're talking about 12 platform for action. One is national machinery. What is national machinery? Just government should have one officially an organization. So 2012, Taiwan have a Committee of Gender Equity under the executive yuan. Yeah. So we have national machinery, and also we do the gender mainstreaming, and also because 2004 we bring the CEDAW back, and the country start to work on CEDAW, and even the president signed to pass the CEDAW, but it come to UN cannot be accepted. So in Taiwan, we do our own local legalization. So we have legalization in 2009. And besides, we also make our own national report. So not like other countries will make national report. That's very different from Taiwan. Taiwan, we invite some interviewer come to Taiwan, and we all sit down and directly communicate with them. So this is a very special experience. Yeah, because Taiwan is small, so it looks like everyone can involve into those kind of politics. But we need to understand the right way, not the negative way. And also because CEDAW it also accelerates other domestic legalization of other conventions. Yeah. So in the next situation, we will say gender mainstream, government has gender mainstream, and they have gender statistics, gender analysis, gender budget. You have gender statistics and gender analysis, then you'll know what is left, and you can have some budget to do those things. Then you have gender impact assessment to see how the program works. And of course, awareness training and national machinery. So from gender, we see it's so successful. So for mental health, suppose we also work with mental health actually is not only such a short period. Mental health is already around 100 years. Yeah. So but we need to have mental health data, mental health analysis, budget, and impact assessment, and literacy, and national machinery. So finally, 2013, we have the national machinery, Department of Mental Health, in our health and welfare ministry. Actually, that time also it's a joke. They make Department of Oral and mental and oral health together. It's a joke, but because of politics, the oral people like to have their own special. Yeah, but fortunately, last year, it's been, because we always advocacy and protest, say you should take it apart. Yeah, so right now we have Department of Mental Health. Yeah. Okay, so this is the other five convention, the CISO or CCPR or ISR or CRPD or CRC and ICERD. Yeah, so for those kind of convention, Taiwan take step every, also make a national report. Yeah. So besides those, we also have other acts like sexual assault prevention, domestic violence prevention, etc. Yeah. So also have gender equality education, gender equality employment act, gender education equality act. Yeah. Even last year we passed stalking and harassment. Yeah. So this is good, but even we have so many acts or law, how come everything still happen? The bullying, the sexual assault, because we don't have mental health promotion. We don't have teach them how they face their own frustration, how they understand their gender is not to bully others. They should have a cooperation and have a nice attitude. Yeah. So also we do the mental health and human rights study, and so this is so we will say like for myself, just we can see enlightenment, awakening, and empowerment action. It's all a process for me. And even right now we have reflection and analyze. So today I would just like to talk about, we have the women's health policy, how it starts. And this is that I've already described. And because we have a national machinery for the gender, and the nation government should watch the local government, how they do that. Yeah. So this time you will see, like yesterday we had 5 cities. They all have Office of Gender Equality. So for the local city, they have that. And yesterday they tried to report something. So this is also challenging because first is Taipei City, and then to other city. They have some competition. I like the competition because then they pay more attention on the gender budget and gender events. Okay. And for health, mental health, then we will say there's no health without mental health, and mental health should be integrated into all policies. Yeah. And mental health not only should integrate into all policy, we also need to integrate all projects. Yeah. So this is what we are trying to do. And so this is the process I will say women's health, because we reviewed for the past 30 years for 1995, but we will know, and actually WHO tried to have their Department of Gender and Health Development. They from office to department, yeah. And to 2002, they have the gender and health. So from those kind of basis, every project should look at gender issue, yeah. And then we will see, you should do the primary, secondary, tertiary prevention, but we need the promotion also. Yeah, not only rescue people, but you need to do something upstream to prevent and teach them knowledge, how to do some stuff, don't drop out. Yeah, and also learn how to swim. Yeah, and this is, I think everybody knows, you have realities like that, but you have equality, equity, justice. Yeah, then you have disabled people, then you can have wheelchair and go up. And the better bathroom is take off all the fence. Everybody can see that. Doesn't matter how tall you are, low. So gender needs in health. So we will see. When we talking about gender, we need to see the difference, see the attitude and gender roles, etc. Yeah. So also from America or from Australia, we have like American for me is Our Body Ourselves, the books. Yeah. So I read from 1973 and 1988. We have different. When they published, I know Ricky in Boston. Yeah. So that also make more impact for people. And also in America, they have NIH start to have ORWH, Office of Research on Women's Health. So we need to have some research, we need to have some data, and we need to have the action implementation. So this is what when I think about we need to have the women's health policy. So my colleague and I, we try to asking our government, we like to have our really women's health policy. Not only the policy, government just think, women need to have breast cancer, women need to have maybe sometimes they have a menopause, you need to have hormone replacement therapy. But the health policy for women, you should understand. Yeah. So this is what we ask the government to have 2008 new women health policy. Then 2016 we have women health action plan. Why? Because 2008 we start for that, but the government still not move. They didn't react for the content, but they take they just say we already have that. Then so through the CEDAW report, we asking the interviewer exam. So they ask, where is your women health policy? When it's already in 2008 and 4 years, so 2012, you should have a new one. So they start to worry about. So they ask us to try to do the other one. Yeah, and so this is 2019, the really government report the women health action. So you will see the content, what is gender mainstreaming integrated into all different kind of women's needs. So women's health, physical health, and fitness, and diet, and also body image, and also reproductive health. Reproductive health promoting women's sexual health, promoting menstrual health, protects women's rights to reproductive health. So also we have, like yesterday we're talking about health care. Yeah. Female health care also have a big loading. So we all need to have the women's health to pay attention. So we have the workplace health rights, we have the chronic disease, and we have the cancer for women. And we also address the physical and mental health impact on violence against women. Yeah. So this is like right now, we have our government, have the Gender Equality Committee of the Executive Yuan. So we have 5, totally we have 6 municipal cities. Yeah, but the 5 already have Office of Gender Equality. And we have the Women's Rights and Promotion Foundation. And so like this time, we really totally, we have 42 groups and 23 panels, yeah, here. And but the inside the content, they only use mental health, including this one and the other one, and also mental mentioned resilience. This is more about mental health, but still not enough. Yeah. And also we have women research program. We have 12 universities have the gender center, etc. And also have Taiwanese Feminist Scholar Association. And the other is from local NGO, so it's Awakening Foundation. And you have a Housemaker, United Foundation, etc. Yeah. And also they have Taiwan Women Link, talking about Taiwan women's health. And every year, May 28 is an action conference of women's health. Yeah. So I think this is what we're talking about women's session, and we like to then because we like to have mental health integrate into all policies, then we also need to integrate into all projects. So right, why I start to try to form Taiwan Federation for Mental Health because I really get so much impact from World Federation for Mental Health. So we start, and also Gamma from Porsche. So we think together, all work together, and then you will understand mental health. And mental health can integrate into their project. Not like sometimes my friend in women's organization will say, oh, we are talking about mental health. You come. I said, why I come? Because we only think about suicide rate, violence against the data. But they didn't understand. I said, you try to make non-discrimination, the stigma, to dismiss the stigma. It's all mental health. So you need to understand what you do. It's all on mental health. So this is how we integrate into the different organizations. The PFMH, we including gender, age, race, social disadvantage group. Yeah. So we make more promotion and including different age. Yeah. So this is our different group. You can see we from birth and to the aging, and they also have to do rehabilitation in their community. Yeah. So we also have the CRC, CIDO and CRC, we including boy into CIDO and CRC for do the sexual health education. So I think this is really good. Okay, next is coming. Okay, and so we will say again, gender mainstreaming and mental health mainstreaming. We need to have the gender impact assessment, statistics, analysis, budget, machinery, etc. Yeah, so this is the steps when you neglect and you accept the bias, and then you know how you can have the collaboration. The same on mental health. So, okay, so this is my part. Yeah.
My name is Nancy Wallace, and I am the UN main representative for the world. I'm the main representative for the to the UN for the World Federation for Mental Health. And I just wanted to tell you just a little bit about WFMH. We are a global mental health organization. We were founded just after the UN was formed, and we've been in consultative status to the UN since 1963. So we've been here for quite a long time. We started doing active advocacy in mental health starting in about 1991, and a number of us were actually at the Beijing conference in 1995. Several of us, my colleague Ricky Kantrowitz, who's sitting here, and several others, including our president, Beverly Long, were very active in advocating for the inclusion of mental health in the Beijing platform. When it started to be written in 1991, or 1992, I guess, is when they started working on the recommendations of the Beijing platform. There was nothing in the platform on mental health, no information on, no references to psychological care, no anything related to mental health. And as a result of the advocacy from WFMH and a number of other organizations, we were able to get some language on mental health into the Beijing platform for action. And I think that it speaks well to those of us that were here and are here, that how important it is to take action and to do advocacy to your governments, to come together as NGOs and work for the inclusion of mental health in every area that we work with. And today I'm so pleased to see everyone here and the numbers of people that are here again for this program. But I'm especially pleased that mental health has really taken, has a higher level of recognition throughout the UN now. There are many efforts going on. Just recently, there was the a resolution to make International Day of Hope, which is Catherine Getz here, was one of the leads, or was the lead, in getting that resolution passed. So we're very pleased and really thankful for her for being able to get that day passed. And I just want to encourage all of you to think about wherever you work, wherever you are, if it is not affecting you, mental health affects you personally, I'm sure that someone in your family or friends or in your community have mental health problems, and it's important for all of us to think about what we do at work, how can mental health be integrated into the work we do. It's important to have that consciousness, and it's so important for us to stand up and have our voices heard around the issues of mental health, and making sure that our governments in particular take notice, provide funding and services for people who really are in need. It particularly affects women, as we know, and I am particularly concerned with the issues around violence against women, and it's very important that we incorporate a mental health perspective in every aspect of the work we do around violence against women. So I'm going to introduce our next speaker, who is Jullie Millard, and Jullie is on the board of WFMH, World Federation for Mental Health. It's been my honor to be able to work with her. She chairs the women's section of WFMH, and she's done some remarkable work with that. And they have regular webinars, which I encourage you to go onto the WFM's website. And if you're interested, please give us your emails and your contact information so that we can add you onto the list so that you can participate in the webinars.
Hi, and first, before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which we're meeting on today, and to pay my respects to all women, elders past and present and emerging. This is a traditional greeting that we give in Australia to our First Nations people. But I'd also like to acknowledge the lived and living experience of people with mental health conditions and or emotional distress, and to acknowledge the experience of their families, carers and kin, and recognise the contribution that people with lived experience of mental health conditions have made to the world globally, and will continue to do so because of their lived experience. So I'm going to talk today about the World Federation for Mental Health, but I want to just say at the beginning that this presentation is a part of one that I gave back in 2022 in London for the World Federation's Congress, and it was developed by Dr. Ingrid Daniels, who's the CEO of Cape Mental Health in South Africa, and also Dr. Tracy Bone, who is a professor at Manitoba University in Canada. So I thank them for allowing me to continue to discuss this situation. So the World Federation for Mental Health is an international volunteer non-government organisation that looks at mental health promotion. It was established in 1948, so with the two other large organisations of the World Health Organization and the United Nations. Our aim really is to look at improving conditions for people across the world around mental health promotion. So looking at what is best practice in recovery-oriented approaches, but also to uphold human rights and to try and reduce stigma and discrimination. So though we've been around a long time, there's a lot of people don't know about us, and that's understandable. So I'm going to, you were on to slide 2. Okay, no, here, I've got to do it. Thank you. There you go. So I'm just going to talk briefly about a quick history of women's mental health within the Federation, and to show how women have spoken out in the past and how their voices are being heard today. So Dr. Margaret Mead was the first woman to be elected as the Federation's president. That was in 1957. Wow. Dr. Mead was an American cultural anthropologist, author and speaker. It's reported that Margaret's great fame was owed as much to the force of her personality and her outspokenness as it was to the quality of her scientific work. So she was a great advocate in voicing concerns about women's mental health back in the 1950s. Dr. Mead then paved the way for other pioneer women working in mental health, such as Dr. Estefania Aldebar Lim, a psychologist from the Philippines, who held the president's position from 1983 to 1985. Dr. Lim was a strong advocate for women and children. In 1979, she became the first woman to become Special Ambassador to the United Nations with the rank of Assistant Secretary General. Then we had Edith Morgan, OBE, who was tasked with organising the Federation's 1968 Congress in the United Kingdom. Edith Morgan became the Federation's Vice President in 1977 and eventually served as President from 1985 till 1987. During her time at the Federation, Morgan established the European Regional Council that in 1998 changed its name to Mental Health Europe. Then we had Rosalind Carter, a former First Lady of America, who was a member and played leading roles in highlighting the plight of women's mental health. She continuously advocated to improve the quality of life for people with mental illness. In 1996, the Carter Centre was established with the first International Committee of Women Leaders for Mental Health being held the following year. The committee members were from royalty, they were First Ladies and heads of state. Beverly B. Long was an American activist who became a formidable advocate for people living with mental illness. Between 1995 and 1997, Beverly Long served as the president of the Federation. She also worked with the United Nations on issues related to mental health. She was appointed by the American President, Jimmy Carter, to be a member of the President's Commission on Public Health in 1977. The first presidential commission formed to address issues of mental health policy. Today in the room, one second. Okay. Today in the room, we're fortunate to have women, as Nancy spoke about, who attended the very successful NGO Forum of Women and the United Nations Fourth World Conference on Women 30 years ago in Beijing, China. They are Nancy Wallace and Ricky Cantorith. They were in Beijing with the then President Beverly Long. These women presented one of the first panels on mental health and were able to ensure through their fantastic advocacy that mental health was included in the Beijing Platform for Action. So, as you can see there on the slide, this is a newsletter article from that day. In 1992, the first World Mental Health Day was observed on the 10th of October. World Mental Health Day is the Federation's annual mental health promotion program. The day provides a platform for all of us to stand together, to raise awareness, to try to reduce stigma and discrimination, and to share resources and support others no matter where we live. In 1996, for the first time ever, the theme for World Mental Health Day focused on women and mental health, with the following year becoming children and mental health. As we just heard a little second ago, we are now grateful to have the International Day of Hope organised. Thank you to Catherine over here. And that will be on the 12th of July, the first time this year. So the Federation's first Committee on Women's Issues was held in Finland in 1997. So this is a newsletter from that time. Since 1997, there have been 5 other female presidents of the Federation. They are Mrs. Pekka Lahti from Finland, Dr. Pat Franciosi from America, Shona Sturgeon from South Africa, Deborah Wan from Hong Kong, Dr. Ingrid Daniels from South Africa, And we have the next president for the World Federation is Professor Sabine Baha-Kohler from Switzerland. Many other women have made significant contributions to the World Federation. I'm only just really talking about the presidents, but just sitting here at this table and in this room today are a number of women who have worked hard to reduce stigma and discrimination, to uphold human rights, and to look at how we can all work together better to improve the health of people in the world who are experiencing mental health issues. Of course, my focus is always going to be, we have Sylvia over here, let me not forget Sylvia, thank you, from Argentina. We've got a long way to go, and we know that. Even though the World Federation has been operating for 75 years, women's mental health still remains an issue for us. So in 2000, the World Health Organization, in their Women's Mental Health and Evidence-Based Review, stated good mental health is intrinsically important, conferring a subjective sense of emotional well-being on the individual woman, and extrinsically important, representing a significant resource to the broader society in which she lives and works. Women within the Federation understand and acknowledge that each woman's cultural, social and biological factors must be considered, with the elimination of gender-based violence, stigma and discrimination being essential to enhance women and children's well-being. We we really want to support and understand, and having been on the World Federation's board now for 8 years, I understand that as a global society, we have so many different levels of care and support for people experiencing mental health conditions. And, I'm from Australia. I think we are resource rich, and yet we have rising incidence of youth mental health problems, high levels of anxiety and depression. So I'm very keen that we follow the World Health Organization's 2021 report, which was the guidance on mental health, on community mental health, which remains a kind of landmark document for us all. So the Federation has member sections which provide an opportunity for people who share a common interest in a particular subfield of mental health to research, collaborate, develop topics of interest or concern for the Federation to consider. Member sections evolve to meet the interests of members, with past sections on human rights, peer work and lived experience, addictions and trauma. Today, the sections are working on community mental health development, spirituality and mental health, workplace mental health, youth mental health and women's mental health. And that's what I'm the chair of at this moment in time, following from Nancy's leadership prior to that. So the women's mental health section has a long history of influencing discussions and providing global advocacy on women and children's mental health. Members or volunteers work to emphasise the human rights, socio-economic and political challenges and effects of all that impacts on the mental health and well-being of women and children. And we all know what those examples are: climate change, war and conflict, violence and trauma. Section members choose to be active participants, and as we've spoken about, or they can be silent and supportive. That is everyone's choice. But we can engage in topics of concerns. Recently, Ingrid Daniels and Eunice Nayas, who, if you were here yesterday, you would have seen speaking, on behalf of the Women's Mental Health section, have developed a declaration on women and children in war and conflict zones and the impact on mental health. This is a very important document that we need to be distributing wider. So as we heard, since 2020, Women's Mental Health section, and because of COVID, we've focused on webinars as a tool to increase awareness and discussion on topics impacting on the mental health of women and children. So we created a poll of members, we looked at what are the issues for the world, and then feedback from webinar attendees, and then we look at the theme each year for World Mental Health Day and choose the topics. So we've had a number of webinars, and these are just a few of them: resilience of women in disasters, gender-based violence, women living in poverty, human trafficking of girl children and women, climate change, etc. But our next one will be looking at mental health services for women in Latin America due to the recent political and socioeconomic changes impacting women and children, as Sylvia told us about yesterday. I keep flicking over my shoulder hoping that it is working, but I'm assuming it is, yep. So I kind of just want to say that there's global dread and foreboding at the moment. Women are living with uncertainty and the reality of many possible avenues for change. Cost of living expenses, unemployment, impact of climate change, which we see a lot of in the Pacific region where I come from. Increasing war and conflicts, and these amazingly devastating impacts on mental health. People are scared, and rightly so. We saw in Australia, I don't know if you know, but we've had cyclone hit us recently in Queensland and flooding, which impacts on the eastern seaboard. But then in Western Australia, we've had bushfires, all happening at the same time in the country. So people get scared. We see that shelves in stores suddenly disappear of toilet paper or bottled water, or so people are scared. We understand that. There's a lot happening. So as a global community, we need to advocate for human rights-based approaches, for greater investment in community-led and peer-run mental health initiatives that provide real alternatives to hospital and crisis-driven care. We need to ensure easy and continued access to quality mental health services, especially for women and children, but where and when they need them. We need to reduce violence and to build mental health literacy and to boost resilience, and health comes for everyone. Women volunteering with the World Federation for Mental Health remind us that kindness, compassion, hope and equity are needed now more than ever. As we all know, women's rights are human rights and human rights are women's rights. I quote Maya Angelou, each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing that she stands up for all women. Thank you.